And if you don't have access to clean water when you need it, you can use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid eating from unhygienic food vendors. Cook your food thoroughly, and of course, wash your fruits and vegetables thoroughly before you eat them. If you or anyone you know becomes sick with diarrhea or vomiting, seek medical help immediately by going to the nearest health facility, because prompt treatment saves lives. Stay informed, stay safe, and protect our communities from cholera.
This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Do you want your school to be known for your achievements or activities? Then look no further. At NTA Knowledge on Star Times Channel 359, we will showcase your school's graduation, excursion, inter-house sports, community service.
Council considered that to make it more functional, that their proposal for a public-private partnership where government will partner with the private sector to put this sector back to order.
National Economic Council approves cotton, textiles and garments regulatory authority to elevate industry standards.
We look at thunderstorms everywhere. Look at the kind of weather we are going into. And NIMET that is supposed to be providing this thing is on strike.
Aviation Minister tackles strike by NIMET Union, which strengthens flight operations at nation's airports.
It's actually my second time, and the first time I wrote, I did not do well, so I was looking to put in more effort this year to do well.
Also coming tonight, 2025 UTME kicks off nationwide. 2 million candidates surge as CBT centers records smooth start. Good evening and a warm welcome to the Network News. I am Juma Yusuf. Reading with me tonight from Lagos is Adiola Kamiakere. Benny Adams is here for business news, and Francesca Bele, who will be bringing us the sports news much later tonight, is right here in the studio. Remember, you can watch this newscast streaming live on any of our social media platforms, even while on the move on any of your electronic mobile devices. Thanks so much for joining us. Tonight, Nigeria's ambitious plan to digitize all academic examinations by 2027 is in focus, with the goal of eliminating paper-based tests and transitioning entirely to computer-based testing, or CBT. Authorities argue the move will curb malpractice and modernize the education system. Yet, there are questions that linger. Is the country ready for such a shift? Will the CBT format bridge gaps in exam credibility or deepen existing inequalities in access to technology? Tonight, we want you to weigh in on these issues. Does the CBT format hold the key to fairer, more secure examinations, or do we run the risk of leaving millions of students behind? Let's hear from you. Join our exclusive nationwide survey as we ask the critical question: is Nigeria's CBT revolution a leap forward or a step too soon? Now, the news. The National Economic Council has endorsed recommendations by the Ministry of Livestock Development on mitigation measures to sustainably address the crisis fueled by the current system of animal husbandry in Nigeria. Council approved the National Livestock Development Accelerated Strategy, which targets $90 billion by 2025. State House correspondent Abdullah Rahman Jibrila reports that NEC also approved the establishment of the Cotton, Textiles and Garments Factory Regulatory Authority, among other resolutions. Let's take a listen.
This is the 149th meeting and the second in the year 2025, chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima. The recommendations were approved after a presentation on acceleration strategy on livestock growth by Minister of Livestock Development.
Especially the focus on addressing the crisis fueled by the current system of animal husbandry in the country. Council also urged the active participation of the sub-nationals and the private sector in operationalizing the priorities of the ministry's presentation on modern livestock production.
NEC also approved proposal to establish national cotton, textile and garments for coordination and revitalization of cotton industry in Nigeria.
Council considered that to make it more functional, that their proposal for a public-private partnership where government will partner with the private sector to put this sector back to order.
The council received a report on adoption of national agri-business mechanism through the Presidential Food Systems Coordinating Unit and the Green Imperative Project.
This initiative is an arrangement where each and every locality will be impacted across the country on agribusiness, from production to aggregation to processing and also marketing.
Report on technical and vocational education initiative and skills training was also received by the council, urging state governments to key into the initiative to open opportunities for the targeted Nigerians to become employers of labor.
And the Federal Minister of Education came up with the initiative of technical and vocational education for our youth, so that our youth will have skill acquisition in the various sectors.
The council also announced State of the Federation account as at April 2025.
Stabilization account stood at 63 billion 535 million 835 786.60, while the balance in the excess crude account ECA, which is domiciled in dollars, is 473 754.57.
The council observed a minute's silence for those that lost their lives in the recent killings across the country. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has approved the request by Pilgrims to be granted cash transactions for holy pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia. Now, this followed the intervention of Vice President Kashim Shettima, who appealed to President Bola Tinubu on behalf of the pilgrims through the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria. There had been concerns that the use of mandatory debit cards proposed by the CBN for the pilgrimage would endanger the smooth planning, operation and performance of the Hajj 2025.
We had a series of meetings before now. Vice presidents have to intervene by inviting the deputy governor of the CBN for a plea. And by the grace of Almighty Allah, out of magnanimity on the side of the CBN, they dropped the idea of a card for the pilgrims for 25-hour operation. And they considered out the pilgrims can have cash instead of cards.
Most of our pilgrims, they do their purchases in the streets of Mecca and Medina. And they don't need debit card to do their purchases there. So now it is allowed for them to carry cash. The CBN will provide the cash at the market rate, not a concession, intervention or subsidy from the government.
So there is need for us to see that we make life easy for them, because a lot of them, they don't know how to even operate a simple ATM machine. So those are some of the reasons why the CBN management, in their own magnanimity, often the call of the Vice President that we look at those issues.
Meanwhile, Nigeria's economic leadership has delivered a strong message of reform and opportunity to global investors on the sidelines of the IMF and World Bank spring meetings in Washington, D.C. Finance Minister Wale Edun and Central Bank Governor Olayemi Kadoso led the charge with a message that Nigeria is open for business, with reforms laying the groundwork for sustainable growth and renewed global partnerships. Lydia Sanson reports.
It was a Nigerian investor presentation full of accolades for what investors believe is progress from painful reforms that are yielding results. Presenting the country's progress at a high-profile investor forum, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, highlighted federal government's commitment to fiscal consolidation, social protection, and unlocking private sector investment, targeting rapid inclusive growth and job creation.
Initiatives, policies, and structural reforms to get to 7% per annum growth, because it is at that level that you begin to lift a substantial number of Nigerians out of poverty.
We are on the road to beginning to ensure that our institutions are stronger and would be able to, through experience, through knowledge, be able to put themselves forward.
Investors and financial leaders at the forum acknowledged Nigeria's progress but noted ongoing challenges, including oil price volatility and the need for consistent policy education. From Washington, D.C., Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And in a bold call to action, the immediate past Chief Financial Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, Umar Ajia Issa, has urged global investors to see Africa not as a destination for aid, but as a continent ripe for strategic investment. He made the call at the Future of Finance and Trade in Africa 2.0 meeting happening at the sidelines of the IMF and World Bank meetings in Washington, D.C. Musa Abubakar tells us more.
In a world still adjusting to post-pandemic realities, climate commitments, and shifting financial tides, Africa is rewriting its own development script. And leading the charge is Nigeria, with innovation in one hand and energy in the other. Speaking to a room of global investors and development leaders, Mr. Ajia laid it bare. While the continent holds vast natural riches, the missing piece is investment capital to drive the next wave of infrastructure and urban transformation.
And Africa, as Alan said, can feed the world. It's not looking for grants or aids, but it's looking for capital to invest in infrastructure. Because it is only fair that the next capital investment moves to Africa, because there can never be a global prosperity and peace without prosperity and peace in Africa.
Mr. Ajia stressed that Nigeria is also retooling its financial architecture with support from continental giants like the African Development Bank, the African Finance Corporation, and the newly launched Africa Energy Bank, a regional force designed to unlock capital for Africa's energy future. Still, the need is immense, and so is the opportunity.
Reality today, the focus is on gas to power, gas to industry, and gas to homes. And countries like Nigeria is in the forefront, with CNG initiative being pursued by the current government.
A new dawn is rising over Africa, not fueled by aid, but by ambition. Nigeria, with its gas reserves, innovative policies, and reform momentum, is sending a clear signal. The future of finance and trade is not just about markets, it's about mindsets.
Now, President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda on health is focusing on the localization of healthcare value chain with a target of creating about 500,000 new jobs in the sector in the next few years. The federal government also plans to invest more than $5.5 billion across 22 major projects in pharmaceuticals and health sector manufacturing in Nigeria. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Pati, disclosed these at the high-level ministerial dialogue with World Bank President Ajay Banga during the Health Works Dialogue at the 2025 IMF World Bank Spring Meetings in Washington, D.C. The coordinating minister highlighted Nigeria's bold reforms in the health sector and praised the World Bank's support pre- and post the COVID-19 crisis, emphasizing the need for smarter investments in primary health care, stronger governance, and increased collaboration across all tiers of governments.
We computed at least 500,000 healthcare jobs, core and non-core, can be produced if we tap into the value chain. So the deindustrialization that we had seen in the health sector, I think we could reverse it by harnessing the demand potential that we have as a large country. And I think given our low base, we see that as an area of growth.
Professor Party also stressed the importance of building resilient health systems, leveraging digital innovation and ensuring that external partners align with Nigeria's national priorities. We'll take a break. More news when we return. Do stay with the NTA Network News. Don't go away.
The new Associates Bielsa State Chapter invites members of the general public to the first of its kind mega rally in appreciation of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR and Chief Dr. Yesum Ezebo Wike CON, Minister of FCT, for the appointment of worthy sons and daughters of Bielsa State and the massive infrastructural development efforts in Bielsa and the Niger Delta region. Special guest of honor, Senator Heineken Lukwubere, Minister of State Petroleum Resources Oil, Dr. Samuel Obuku, Managing Director, NDDC, Alabo Buma Iyaye, Executive Director, Finance and Administration, NDDC. Chairman of the occasion, Senator George Thompson Sekibo, Father of the Day, Chief Ferdinand Alabrebra. Date, Saturday, April 26, 2025 by 10 a.m. Venue, Ibogida, Yenagoa, Bielsa State. Port-Harcourt-based international music icon Duncan Mighty will perform live alongside notable Ijaw traditional music stars. Lead convener, George Turner, MON. Leader, New Associates, Bielsa State Chapter.
In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, the Katampe Extension Islamic Center cordially invites the general public to the official opening of the Katampe Extension Jum'ah Mosque. The mosque will be officially opened by His Eminence Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar, the Sultan of Sokoto. Date Friday, April 25th, 2025. Time 1 p.m. 27 Shawwal 1446 Hijra. Venue Shehu Gusau Crescent off Abubakar Umar Street, beside Water Board Tank 2, Katampe Extension, Abuja FCT. Organizing Committee Announcer.
I just gave my home a whole new vibe with Vento. Premium style and a 40% discount. That's the first strike. And this? A chance to win an all-inclusive holiday in Turkey? Now that's a double strike. Go ahead, Vento it.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys!
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on. Malaria gone.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics and high-quality proteins. And all of these work together to support your child's development and growth today and tomorrow. NanKid 4, nourish your child's potential.
The Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike has commended the former governor of Delta State and the People's Democratic Party vice presidential candidate in the 2023 election, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, for supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The FCT minister called on other Nigerians who are still sitting on the fence to throw in their support for the president. Wike is quoted as saying, "It is another endorsement of the president's good governance and commitment to the development of the country." It goes further to say that the open endorsement of the president by Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa is a vindication of the position he took in 2023, which was based on the interest of a united Nigeria. Quote, "I commend Dr. Okowa and Governor Sheriff Oborevori for this heartwarming decision. which must have been informed by good governance and commitment of President Bola Tinubu to the oneness and development of Nigeria. That is what I have always told people to come out and say, not when they have problems and begin to run up and down. They have come out at the right time to show support for the president so that the people of the Niger Delta can benefit more from the government, and I commend them. I am particularly happy that what I saw before the 2023 presidential election, others are now seeing and are joining the renewed hope train. End quotes.
Thanks for rejoining us. Let's bring you up to speed with other news as the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, is stepping in to address the standoff between labor unions at the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, and its management. This intervention comes as the strike initiated by the staff has severely disrupted aviation services at major local and international airports across the country. Musa Baba Aliu has the details.
Air and marine transportation heavily relies on accurate weather information to make critical decisions regarding flight operations and sea navigation. This reliance is essential for ensuring the safety and efficiency of operations. One agency that plays a vital role in providing this critical weather information is the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET. The staff of the agency have launched an indefinite strike, shutting down all channels that pilots, ship operators and farmers rely on for weather information.
No weather, no flight. Fly at your own risk.
Officials at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, were seen warning passengers not to risk traveling without pilots having access to critical weather data.
We look at thunderstorm everywhere. Look at the kind of weather we are going into. And NIMET that is supposed to be providing this thing is on strike.
The Nigerian Television Authority news crew reached out to the management of NIMET at their office located in Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. We were informed that the agency is deeply disappointed with the hardline position taken by the unions, stating that many of the contentious issues have either been resolved or are actively being addressed. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, is intervening by holding a closed-door meeting with the representatives of the striking workers. Details of the meeting are yet to be made public. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Minister of Steel Development Abubakar Shuaibu Audu has performed the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of a stainless steel plant worth about $400 million in Ogun State. The minister, who performed the function during a working visit to the state, says the investment is a result of the administration's efforts to get all stakeholders involved in revamping the steel sector. Ekene Ndulwe reports.
The steel plant, a private sector project, is expected to produce hot-rolled coil, reducing Nigeria's $4 billion annual steel import bill, strengthening the nation's foreign exchange. The minister reiterated that federal government is keen on encouraging private sector players as a means of getting Nigeria to harness potentials in the sector. Shuaibu Abubakar Audu notes that steel is the backbone of Nigeria's industrialization as federal government targets a $1 trillion economy by 2030. The minister also made case for local production of military hardware at the proposed military industrial complex in Ajokuta. This was during his visit to some indigenous manufacturers of military equipment in Ogun State. He says these will help improve security situation in the country. Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
And following the outcome of a high-level closed-door session between members of the Nigeria Governors Forum and the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, that lasted several hours, a consensus has been reached for the deployment of digital infrastructure in combating security challenges across the country. Political correspondent Abubakar Akwanga reports.
Security challenges in parts of the country have remained a burning issue of national concern, and to frontally address the problem, the Nigerian Governors Forum is backing the deployment of digital infrastructure proposed by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa.
The project envisions the phased deployment of advanced technology and infrastructure to improve surveillance, crisis management, and public safety. Governors expressed support for the initiative's objective and underscored the importance of technology-driven solutions in addressing evolving security challenges.
The forum also received a briefing on housing and power reforms at sub-national level.
The National Land Registration and Titling Program, which we need the collaboration with the state governors and the buy-in to ensure that and the establishment of the National Land Commission, which is a commission we intend to establish.
The Powercom Smart Grid Nigerian Limited will assume operational control of select distribution companies, DISCOs, introduce advanced smart grid technologies, and establish a meter production facility to enhance service delivery and energy access across the state.
The NGF promised to study the opportunities and benefits in the proposed partnerships to improve critical services and empower Nigerians at the grassroots. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Now, the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, has officially commenced across Nigeria, with over 2 million candidates participating at various accredited computer-based test CBT centers nationwide. Correspondent Olainka Ojo reports that the examination began as scheduled at all accredited CBT centers in Abuja. At a CBT center in Maitama, Abuja, candidates arrived early, particularly those slated for the 7 a.m. session. The process went smoothly with no major hitches reported.
It's actually my second time, and the first time I wrote, I did not do well, so I was looking to put in more effort this year to do well. So when we started the exam, I saw a lot of questions, and I saw questions that were relatable.
I didn't really explain anything about the system. It was actually working well.
One notable challenge observed was self-induced, as a number of candidates arrived late and consequently missed their examination session.
Day before, talk to them. They can make provision for a place where you can stay. Otherwise, then go as early as possible so that you don't miss the exam.
President Bola Tinubu has congratulated frontline journalist and publisher of City People magazine, Sheye Kainde, on his 60th birthday. The president praised him for his significant contributions to the media, including establishing the City People magazine in 1996, which has profoundly impacted people and society. Sheye Kainde worked at the African Concord until April 1992, where he resigned and teamed up with 5 other professionals to set up the news magazine and Tempo in 1993. The president believes that Sheye's over 30 years of impactful journalism practice and his progression from daring reporter and editor to media entrepreneur remain an inspiration to the younger generation, underscoring the fact that with hard work, dedication and consistency, they too can reach the zenith of the profession. He urges Sheye Kainde to remain focused and continue to advance the cause of good people-oriented journalism in this age of technology and digital media. It's now time to join Adiola in our Lagos Network Center for more NTA Network News. Hello, Adiola. It's good to see you. Lagos Network.
Jumai. Amid ongoing distortions in the financial system, efforts are intensifying to strengthen institutional responses and reinforce economic stability in Nigeria. Members of the House of Representatives Committee on Insurance and Actuarial Matters met with executives of the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation (NDIC) in Lagos to review emerging challenges and assess strategic interventions. Our Yusuf Jibo reports.
The meeting aimed at navigating financial disruptions with the view to strengthening the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation's mandate for economic stability provided a platform for the committee and NDIC leadership to exchange insights on the evolving financial landscape.
We commenced the liquidation of the Dufon Heritage Bank last year, following the revocation of its banking license by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The payment of the insured sum was prompt in line with best practices. Furthermore, we have made significant progress in the disposal of the physical asset of the defunct bank. And we are pleased to announce that the first tranche of liquidation dividend of 9.2 kobo per naira will be paid to uninsured depositors of the defunct bank before the end of April 2025.
The Chairman House Committee on Insurance and Actuarial Matters, Honorable Ahmadu Usman Jaha, noted the urgency of tackling risks such as digital fraud, terrorism financing, and economic shocks. He praised the NDIC for its proactive role in asset recovery and depositor protection.
NDIC commenced the liquidation process of the failed Heritage Bank, and to the best of our knowledge on the part of the legislature, there is absolute transparency and professional application of technique as far as the process is concerned by the NDIC, because we have been following and monitoring.
As Nigeria's deposit insurer, the NDIC is mandated to protect depositors and promote confidence in the banking system. It has recorded progress in asset recovery, public awareness on insured deposits, and early risk detection efforts that reinforce its role in safeguarding the nation's financial ecosystem. In Lagos, Awol Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
To boost oil and gas businesses in the country through local manufacturing of utilities as against their importation, Monarch Alloys Limited has unveiled its pipeline coating facility in Ikorodu. Larry Belei has details.
This unveiling speaks to the desire of the country to ensure that economic stability resides in the local capacity to produce industrial facilities for the growth of complementary establishments. This is what Monarch Alloys Limited stands for, and the company is exemplifying this with the inauguration of a pipeline coating facility.
I use the opportunity to publicly say that, look, there should be no more waivers to bring in Chinese pipes. The pipes the industry needs are right here in Monarch Alloys Limited.
It's important to encourage everyone that we should invest in our country, not tomorrow, not next week, today.
I also think this is a reflection of the reforms of the current administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Situated in the industrial scheme layout of Ikorodu in Lagos State, Monarch Alloys believes the unveiling is just the tip of the iceberg for what the company can deliver.
But today, because of local production, we don't need to import anything. It's nil. It's total, complete import substitution.
Facilities like Monarch Alloys are vital to this vision of our state. They boost our local content, enhance our capabilities in the oil and gas sector.
This event is more than just a launch of a new facility. It represents another step forward in our country's ability to provide advanced pipeline infrastructure.
Onshore oil and gas transportation pipelines require adequate protection against corrosion to ensure reliable service over a long period of time. Monarch Alloys Coating Unit is ready to serve the needs of the oil and gas sector. In Lagos, Larry Belei, NTA News.
And that's it from Lagos. The network news will continue in Abuja with Jumai Yusuf after this timeout.
So what can I get you?
Can I have some more golden penny pasta?
Tell me why you want more.
Because I enjoy slopping.
This is why I love my golden penny pasta. It's my family's favorite. What's your reason?
Courage for romantic dinner.
Reminds me of home every time. It truly satisfying me.
It's my ultimate comfort food.
And make delicious combos with you.
just want more?
Because I love you all.
There are more reasons to love Golden Penny pasta. What's your reason? Great taste, good nutrition.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care with 5 oils and 5 vitamins. 48-hour nourishment. Helps reduce appearance of stretch marks in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care for your shade of beautiful.
We know that sometimes seeing is believing, and that you prefer to see what you're buying before you pay. If this is you, you can pick up any of your items at a Jumia pickup station near you and then pay. Download the Jumia app today. Jumia, joy delivered.
Imagine lovely meals you can cook with these ingredients. You spend heavily, but no guarantee of a tasty meal. Not making a right choice of seasoning cube can ruin your meal, money, and confidence. For a tasty meal, do not compromise. Choose Gold.
Use Terra Gold for the rich, consistent taste your loved ones crave for. Good for soups, stews, and jollof. Terra Gold. 1 cube, endless possibilities.
My morning ritual starts here, surrounded by Life-Made furniture. From my wardrobe to my bed, Life-Made Furniture's whole house customization designs every piece to perfection. I love that in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Ibadan, and Kano, there's Life-Made Furniture.
For a whole house customization and furniture projects, call 081 2000 6000 or visit elifemade.com. Life-Made, your life made forever.
In today's fast-paced world, staying ahead demands peak performance from our bodies.
Like never before, our bodies need an optimum supply of essential nutrients, and Supermalt supports our daily nutritional needs.
Exactly. 1 Supermalt after breakfast daily keeps us at our best.
Supermalt is specially formulated for today's man and woman. It has 20 essential vitamins, minerals, and natural extracts for overall health and wellness. 1 Supermalt a day gives you energy and vitality, improves your mental performance, and supports your immunity.
Fueling your vitality the whole day through. Embrace each challenge with renewed might. With Supermalt, your performance takes flight. Supermalt, unstoppable you.
Shield your families from germs. When Dettol is a part of every household bucket, then you and your family can stay protected from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Everyday use of Dettol keeps my loved ones protected.
No buy am. But why? No see say this big bull bag of rice no get the new big bull holographic seal. Not true.
Introducing the Big Bull Holographic Seal Tape, your favorite authentic Big Bull rice, 50 kg and 25 kg. Now with holographic seal tape. This is to ensure you get the premium product from Big Bull Rice. Do not buy if the holographic seal tape is not on the bag or is broken. Big Bull Rice. Tasty rice nourished you.
The world needs moms. With a splash of Golden Terra oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile. Change no thanks into yes please. And resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle. Providing tasty family meals is all that matters. Where there are moms, there is love. Golden Terra oil. Pour pure love.
If day ahead. Thanks for joining us. And Benny Adams is ready to give us business news. Benny, what's happening in the world of business? Any news?
A whole lot in the world of business, Juma, is starting from Washington, D.C. to Nigeria and around the world. Now, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has urged Nigerians to report any suspected illegal investment schemes to the Commission for proper investigation and necessary action. The Commission said this in a notice issued on Thursday to the investing public, warning that Ponzi investment schemes pose great danger to the growth of the capital market. In its latest advisory, the Commission warned that public about growing threats and risks posed by Ponzi schemes, illegal investment operations, and unregistered digital assets platforms. It explained that fraudulent entities and individuals have continued to exploit unsuspecting investors through deceptive promises of high returns, often leveraging the allure of digital assets to create an erroneous perception of legitimacy. The SEC says it is fully committed to identifying and prosecuting offenders to the full extent of the law, citing 20 million naira as fine or 10 years in imprisonment or the option of both. And from then, we'll look at the market. Talking about the Nigerian exchange, sustained buying interest in banking, consumer goods, others lifted the all-share index by 0.7% at the close of trading today. Investors gained 508.14 billion naira as market capitalization also increased to 66.67 trillion naira. Access Core was the most traded stock by volume with 48.50 million units traded, while the MTN was the most traded stock by value worth 1.42 billion naira. And looking at other markets in Africa, South Africa GSE top 40 appreciated by 0.78%. This is a marginal appreciation compared to yesterday when the market was in red and now closing at 83,257.44 basis points. And Tunisia Tune Index depreciated a bit, was still in the green zone to close at 0.15% and 11,184.56 basis points. Well, this is it on business.
Thank you, Benny. And as the federal government advances its renewed hope agenda aimed at restoring public trust and strengthening institutions, the Office of the Auditor General for the Federation is stepping up forward with action, not just promises, with the launch of its 2025-2028 stakeholder engagement strategy. The Auditor General's office is aligning with this national vision by opening its doors wider than ever, welcoming citizens, civil society, and the media as co-pilots in the journey toward transparency, accountability, and better public service delivery.
The Auditor General for the Federation.
Goal 1 of the strategic plan is enhanced independence and mandate of Auditor General's office. To achieve this goal, which will ultimately pave way for the office to attain its full potentials, support of stakeholders become imperative.
The 2025-2028 plan doesn't just align with the office's strategic goal to become a model institution. It embodies the federal government's larger promise to rebuild trust, renew hope, and restore pride in public institutions.
Basically, to build the strategies that will help them address the gaps that may be existing when it comes to stakeholder engagement, which is very critical for any well-functioning Supreme Audit institution.
My message is that they should pass that audit law and strengthen the Audit Office of the General. The Audit Office of the General should also have a financial independence.
As a nation presses forward under the renewed hope agenda, the Auditor General's office is saying loud and clear, accountability is everyone's business, and the future begins with trust.
Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has reaffirmed that his administration will continue to prioritize every aspect of education in the state. He made this known while inaugurating a leadership center at Adeleke University, Ede, donated by the Chairman, House Committee on Public Accounts, Honorable Bamidele Salah. Temitope Odebumi's report is here presented.
Of the Leadership Center at Adeleke University was part of activities marking the 8th-year remembrance of the first executive governor of Osun State, late Isiaka Adetunji Adeleke. While inaugurating the center, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke reflected on the life and enduring impact of his late brother It described him as a pioneer of development in the state and a beacon of good governance.
His style, ideas, and philosophy are unique and peculiar in their own rights. He is a model never experienced in Osun State.
I love it, and I'm happy that it's a leadership center, and that's something that one of the attributes that my dad entailed.
Facilitator of the project, member representing Ede North, Ede South, Egbedore, and Ejibo Federal Constituency, Honorable Bamidele Salam, reiterated his commitment to preserving the legacy and history of the late Isiaka Adeleke in Osun State and Nigeria at large.
We have a development plan for this edifice, which is a 3 to 5 year development plan to build systems and processes in place that will sustain what the Leadership Center will be doing.
The Adeleke dynasty used the occasion to commend the donor for his outstanding contribution and unwavering commitment to the legacy of the family.
We now pause here for some messages. The news continues in a moment. Don't go away.
Our patriarch goes home. It is with sadness but gratitude to Almighty God for a life well lived that we, the Umozochi Mende family of Enugungu, announce the transition of our beloved brother, husband, father, grandfather, and uncle, Right Honorable Chief Dubem Onya, KSJ, Ozochineneze, aged 73. Funeral arrangements, Abuja. Night of tributes on Friday, April 25 at Sheikh Musa Iyaradua Center, Abuja, by 4 p.m. In Enugu, Requiem Mass will be on Monday, April 28. Venue, St. Mary's Catholic Church, Transekulu, Enugu, by 4 p.m. Night of tributes on Tuesday, April 29. Venue, Amadio Event Center, by 5 p.m. Christian break will hold on Thursday, May 1 at Koleari Comprehensive School Field, Unguo, by 5 p.m. Funeral Mass will be on Friday, May 2nd at St. Mary's Catholic Church, Unguo, by 10 a.m. Interment follows immediately after Mass in his compound, while reception and funeral activities held at Koleari Comprehensive School Field, Unguo. Thanksgiving Mass on Sunday, May 4, 2025 by 8 a.m. Farewell, Chinenyeze. Adieu, great son of Unguo land. Signed, Engineer Emeka Ike Onya, son for the family.
So what can I get you?
Can I have some more golden penny pasta?
Tell me why you want more.
Because I enjoy slopping.
This is why I love my golden penny pasta. It's my family's favorite. What's your reason?
Courage for romantic dinner.
Reminds me of home every time. It truly satisfying me.
It's my ultimate comfort food.
And make delicious combos with you. I just want more.
Because I love you all.
There are more reasons to love Golden Penny Pasta. What's your reason? Great taste, good nutrition.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics and high-quality proteins. And all of these work together to support your child's development and growth today and tomorrow. NanKid 4, nourish your child's potential.
Grab joy, unleash taste.
What food do you need?
Guys, food is ready.
Cook to impress. Shield your families from germs. When Dettol is a part of every household bucket, then you and your family can stay protected from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Everyday use of Dettol keeps my loved ones protected.
You're watching NTA Network News, and Francisca Bele is standing by for news from the sports. What's happening in the world of sports? Any games today, winners and losers, Francisca?
Of course, there are a lot happening in the world of sports, but let's begin with this story. Chairman National Sports Commission Shehu Diko has assured the military and paramilitary agencies in the country that the commission will support them in discovering and nurturing sports talent to become world beaters as it was in the past. The chairman stated this when he declared open the 6th edition of the One Service, One Medal Games at the main bowl of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja on Thursday. Diko emphasized that the commission organized the games to further boost Nigeria's pool of sports talent, as the security agencies have produced some of the country's finest athletes in history.
They will have more collaboration to work together for our security, for the better of the country, and then we can be able to get the best athletes between them, because you know the military and paramilitary always have very good athletes that have been doing very good for Nigeria. So this is a platform also to give the opportunity to showcase.
Elsewhere, the nationwide tour of the Torch of Unity for the upcoming National Sports Festival continues in the southern parts of Nigeria, as the tour of northern Nigeria has ended in Kaduna. Commissioner for Sports Development, Professor Benjamin Kumai-Gugong, who received the torch on behalf of Governor Uba Sani, assured that Team Kaduna is ready to compete and bring home a significant number of medals.
Well, we have about 418 athletes that will be representing Kaduna State in different sports. Yeah, and like I said, we hope to bring back most of the medals.
Elsewhere, Paralympics bronze medalist Eniola Bolaji has been named the recipient of the 2024 African Women in Badminton Award in recognition of outstanding achievements and inspiring journey in para-badminton. Bolaji, a multiple-time African champion, becomes the second in Nigeria to receive the honor, following in the footsteps of badminton veteran Obiageli Sholaja, who received the award in 2019. Receiving the award on her behalf at the Badminton Confederation of Africa Annual General Meeting in China, President of the Badminton Federation of Nigeria, Francis Obi, described the recognition as a result of Bolaji's dedication and trailblazing accomplishments. Well, that's the size of our package. It's back to Jumai.
Thank you, Francisca. So much happening in the world of sports. And reports just reaching our newsroom indicates that the staff of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, have announced the suspension of their strike, which was initiated due to concerns regarding welfare and working conditions. The NIMET union representatives announced the suspension this evening, extending until May 13, 2025. Pending the outcome of Minister of Aviation Festus Keyamo's intervention regarding the raised issues. This decision came at the conclusion of a critical meeting convened by the minister with leaders of the concerned unions, including the National Union of Air Transport Employees and the Association of Nigeria Aviation Professionals. National Secretary of NERTE, Comrade Abba Ocheme, confirmed this decision. In response, the minister expressed empathy for the affected workers and assured of his commitment to finding lasting solution to their concerns. President Bola Tinubu sends his condolences to the family of the renowned professor of sociology, Mrs. Beatrice Olufumilayo Oloruntimehi, who passed away at 82. President Tinubu describes Professor Oloruntimehi, widow of Benjamin Olatunji Oloruntimehi, a professor of history, as a trailblazer whose life was defined by service, pursuit of knowledge and devotion to God Almighty. In a statement, Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, indicates that her works, widely published and presented across continents, enrich global sociological discourses and earned her a mention in directories and publications on world intellectuals, foremost women and distinguished leaders, while adding that her legacy in the academic community and the larger society will continue to inspire many. The President prayed God Almighty to repose her soul and give her family the fortitude to bear the loss. A requiem mass has been held for the late former Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in Abuja, where prayers were offered for the repose of the soul of the late Dubem Onya. Muplan Dakok reports.
What endures is not the length of our years, but the love we share and the faith we have. This was the central message at the Requiem Mass in honor of late Dubem Onya.
Our hearts are too heavy.
The solemn ceremony drew dignitaries who gathered to bid farewell to a statesman described as selfless and committed to national service.
When we were in office, he doesn't joke with anything that concerns the Catholic Church. I thank God for his life. He served well.
The vision that we had that brought us from different backgrounds to serve the country, he held up to that vision.
Family members and friends expressed shock over his demise.
Whilst we have deep sorrow, we are comforted by the friends and his colleagues and everyone who's out to support us. A testament to the legacy that he left behind and the life he led.
The late Dubem Onya, who served as Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, passed at the age of 73. In Abuja, Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
The death occurred of Lolo Charity Ijoma Obi Efule, popularly known as Ni Ihenetu, survived by 8 children, 12 grandchildren, sister and other relatives. Lolo died at the age of 67. Family burial arrangement shows that wake keep and service of song took place this evening at her husband's country home, Eze Ala Odugum Isu, on Friday, 25th April at 6:30 in the morning. The body will leave the mortuary to late Chief Ignatius Ihenetu, her father's compound, for lying in state in Umuoze, Isu. Now, to the result of our survey, let's see what you chose as your response to the survey. The result of our survey is officially in, and it is showing Nigeria's divided stance on the 2027 CBT exam transition. 50% are sitting on the edge, backing the policy only if power gaps, device affordability, and teacher training are prioritized. And then 37.8% of citizens champion the shift, confident it will curb cheating and streamline assessments. However, 12.2% fear its risks sidelining vulnerable students in tech-poor regions, inferring it could easily be a digital divide in disguise. While optimism leads, there is still skepticism, underscoring the high stakes of balancing innovation with equity. And that's NTA Network News tonight. I hear that before we go, a few words in memory of our colleague Chinedu Eze, who unfortunately died in a road accident yesterday here in Abuja. Chinedu, midday break light gaps stole your mid-breath, and though the earth spins on your laugh, trapped in its state, we pray the void cradles what love still bleeds. Rest in glory. And on that note, that's NTA Network News for tonight. Thanks so much for your time. I am Juma Yusuf.